Hey there again, Hippie Eclectic Hope for a Yang. Is this 3 or 4 days in a row that I've been able to post a video for you guys? So anyhow, I was planning to do a jewelry tour and show you the jewelry products that I have to offer, and then my next video is going to be what I have so far on my Zazzle store. However, just one second here. Magic pause button, right? But anywho, I was going to give you a tour of all the products that could be seen on my new poster. Look on my Twitter feed. I've tweeted it once. I will probably make it my pinned tweet now that I have all of my, neighbors. One second. Well, anyhow, as I was saying, I was intending to give you a tour of, my jewelry line and, show you the products I make, and then make another video giving you a tour of my Zazzle graphic arts store. The products that I have are about to expand, but anyhow, I got interrupted by some really, I think it's funny, I'll be honest with you. I was showing somebody my poster that somebody at my son's school printed for me, so thank you, Alexandra, thank you. I can't, wow, thanks for, printing that for me. I can't believe it turned out so nice. But anyhow, as I was showing it to somebody, and telling them what's going on with, my Judge Torrington woes and this, thrashing of the 13th Amendment as she's enforcing rape and slavery as the laws of Colorado. I'm telling her this stuff and showing her, hey, here's how I'm trying to get my son and me out from under this captivity hell that has been created here in Denver. And they like, wait a minute, let me just look her up once. And so after some research, which I've been intending to do, but I get busy, distracted, and forget, I hadn't done much research on her, and they don't really say a whole lot about judges unless you look hard enough. But according to what we have found out, Jennifer Torrington she's only been a district court judge since 2015, so as long as my preschooler's been alive. She's pretty new. She was hired along with 3 others, all of a sudden appointed by the mayor at the time, because 4 judges retired, and they all of a sudden needed to fill these positions quickly. So these 4 were brought in, and Jennifer Torrington was reelected. However, as we've seen on ballots, local ballots, there aren't generally too many people running for judge, and you don't really hear, elect this judge. You don't really, so there's a lot of uninformed voting with smaller, positions. We care more about the state elections and the national elections than we do about our city and county. And so, basically Jennifer Torrington was reelected by default in 2016, even though there have been many people petitioning to get her overthrown, fired, kicked out, because she has a terrible reputation as a Jim Crow judge. I am obviously not the first one that she's done this to. Jennifer Torrington is actually fairly well known for violating civil rights and giving children to the wrong parents, and allowing abusers and predators and terrible, terrible people to have way too much power over the lives of people who have survived captivity at their hands for years. She extends the captivity to the furthest extent she possibly can. So there have been many people who have made petitions to end her career, get her fired, get her disbarred. And as one of these legal resources that I've been in contact with advised me to notify the Colorado Bar Association, I could very well get Jennifer Torrington disbarred with the evidence that I have of her injustices. Every way she possibly can is enforcing captivity to Thomas Stetzer. She's giving him the power to harass, stalk, and bother us at any time of day, night, weekend over the Stalking Rapist website, or by using the Denver police, pretending to be performing a civil assist to get his belongings out of the home. He's already been awarded 2 of the 1 he's legally allowed to have. He's been awarded 2 by Jennifer Torrington. And in addition, with these forced visitations, the visitation racketeering outfits out here in Denver Metro are geared for this sort of case. But with everything that I've already discussed in other videos aside, Jennifer Torrington only has a retention rating in the low to mid 70s. In Colorado, judges don't overturn the decisions of other judges. If you're even allowed to be called into another judge's room to discuss a case, that judge will simply lecture you about how you can't go running around from judge to judge to get the decision you like, and then you're dismissed. That's how Denver does it. But with the retention rating in the low to mid 70s, 3 out of 10, 25 out of 100, 25 to 30 out of 100 people have still managed to get enough words in edgewise as they're being sent back out of the courtroom to convince a judge to take a closer look. And upon that closer look, the judge overturns Jennifer Torrington in a heartbeat. Having a retention rating in the low 70s means that, as I said, 3/4 of your cases or more are being just thrown out and reversed because you've committed grave injustices worthy of being looked at by judges who are geared up and ready to send an appeal motion packing just on looking at it. That's what Denver, Colorado does. That's what I've got on my tape recordings. On my Patreon site, these are free public access recording releases. I have Jennifer Torrington and the judge in room 414 up at the Denver District Court. I have them both upholding the laws of rape and slavery because of my disabled status. And as an added bonus, the judge in 414, in the beginning of my recording, he is thrashing an African American attorney because he had the audacity to plug in his laptop to the wall outlet in the courtroom because his client was appearing over video screen. Probably the safest bet for this poor woman. But since this lawyer plugged in his laptop in order to keep it running, in order to keep the video program running, in order to keep his client present digitally in the courtroom, it's a classroom. I'll take him to school. But this judge tore that lawyer apart. You have the audacity to plug things into my courtroom. You didn't ask me. You just plug stuff in just without even any consider. You plug that into my courtroom. Just going off on this guy. And that's the judge in 414. That's not even Jennifer Torrington. Jennifer Torrington in 311 is just... that recording's on my Patreon page. It's a long one, but it's worth listening to, because it shows you exactly how Denver handles these cases of trafficking and abuse and captivity and slavery and rape. That's how they do it. They are ready for you before you even enter their courtroom. They are ready for you, and they are ready to handle this case. So Jennifer Torrington is in the habit of destroying hundreds of lives, hundreds of families a year. And 74% is all she can hold. Her cup doesn't hold water. 1/4 to 3/10 of her survivors that she tries to make victims are able to... before I had to reshuffle my phone's memory again. Reshuffle again. It takes that often. What I was saying, it was with Jennifer Torrington's retention rating, in the low to mid 70s. It means that judges who are geared up and ready to throw you right back out their courtroom after they exercise their power over you and not let you get a word in edgewise. And 3 out of 10, 25 out of 100 people are able to just get enough, hey, but wait a minute, enough words out real quick before they're thrown out for contempt to convince a judge to look at their case. A judge won't look at your case unless they feel like it. That's a judge's right. But she's able to get 25 to 30% of cases overturned by judges who are unwilling to overturn them. That's pretty serious. That's way worse than scoring a low to mid 70s on your final exam. This is really bad. In a state that just does not overturn rulings, she gets flipped like a pancake. So, I have high hopes that if I can't make sense out of her, that somebody in Denver District Court will understand that this is incredibly unjust and dangerous. My son and I could die at any time that Master Thomas Stetzer wants to get out his existing knife collection and come and find us. He knows exactly where we are. And according to Jim Crow Judge Jennifer Torrington, he always will know exactly where we are, because it's in her orders that I am to notify him and get his approval when I change schools, get doctors, get therapists. He's supposed to have our entire address book. We only have a couple friends. We have appointments and caseworkers and professionals who are helping us overcome Stetzer slavery hell and move forward. And all of these professional contacts are supposed to be handed over to Master Thomas Stetzer in a court report. That's not going to happen. That will enable Master Thomas Stetzer to continue harassing, stalking, bothering us at all times, day, night, week, weekend, and having homeless people who we could pay with a joint or two or a knife or a gun, paying anyone to watch out for us once in a while. You know? Hang out, have a cigarette, here's a pack. Tell me if she comes around. I mean, I can't tell you how many straight up just drug addict heroin junkies he was able to pay to go steal stuff around town. I revealed to Jennifer Torrington the etc. column in Thomas's ledger book was what he paid for stolen candy, stolen electronics, and like that, you know. That was the etc. column. So, I revealed that to her. He had nothing to say to deny it. He had nothing to say to question it. Nothing. This is a criminal. This is a crook who is using and exploiting the homeless, the disabled, drug addicts, the most vulnerable people in society, veterans who are homeless, are selling him their food stamps card because they live at the Denver Rescue Mission. They don't have a place to cook. That's how people like Thomas Stetzer make their living. And then claiming to Judge Jennifer Torrington that he's working full time when he's popping into a temp service when he feels like it and flying cardboard on 6th and York saying, "Homeless, please help." He's taking advantage of the city of Denver. And he's using Jennifer Torrington, the stalking rapist, talking parents website, the visitation racketeering outfit, specifically the one on 17th and Kipling Family Tree. He's using the Denver police. He's using this crooked Jim Crow judge to continue his ownership of my son and myself. That is why I'm doing the voice recordings. That's why I'm doing these videos. That's why I'm doing a live stream to YouTube. As here we are on YouTube. I'll be doing a live stream on Tuesday, the 11th of February at 1:30 p.m. Mountain Time. So I need to. Because people like Jennifer Torrington and Thomas Stetzer are predators. They are both serial predators. Having found evidence that Jennifer Torrington is as well. Abusing the position they have in society to punish and brutalize and cause fear and cause danger and cause harm to come on to certain individuals in society. Women, people with disabilities, people who aren't white, whatever Jennifer Torrington's little fling is, I know that she has this extreme disapproval for disabled people. That's what her case against me was. That I'm disabled and I haven't proven it to the equally slavery enforcing Social Security Bureau, to judges who have approval ratings for cases. They will approve 20% to 40% of the cases brought to them, and appeals are rejected 90% or more of the time. That's why people don't get disability, because the judges don't allow it. I have another recording of my disability lawyer who I'm about to fire discussing this one judge in particular, this disability judge. He had a case approval rating in the mid-60s. I mean, and I'm like, ouch. And he's like, no, it gets worse. She was sent to like rehabilitation, retraining. When she came back to work, her case approval rating was in the low 20s, the high teens, I think, high teens. So she was approving less than 20% of the people who come in disabled needing help. She refuses more than 80% of people who are desperate, who have no way of making money to support themselves. These are serial predators, and they have fancy expensive robes and dry cleaning bills, and fancy expensive cars, and fancy expensive houses. And they have all of that off the backs, off the sweat, the tears, the blood, the deaths of disabled people. That is the system that my son and I are fighting. Because Judge Jennifer Torrington, who miraculously has a flip rating in the mid to high 20s, a retention rating in the low to mid 70s. This woman is free to sit behind a big desk and tell disabled people and their children that they will forever be the property of their captors in the 21st century. That's why I need to stream live to YouTube and have as many people present in that courtroom as possible. The courtroom on 14th and Bannock, between 14th and Colfax there on Bannock Street. You can't bloody park there. Have to go to that courtroom Tuesday the 11th of February at 1:30 Mountain Time in the afternoon. I have to stream live to YouTube, and I have to have as many people present as I possibly can, watching and listening and witnessing as Judge Jennifer Torrington exercises Jim Crow practices and enforces the laws of slavery and rape on another disabled person and my child. We will not succumb to Stutzer's slavery hell any longer. That's why I got